Apparently, we don't talk about Bruno, bro. Ugh, Jesus, Mexican beer is horrible. Welcome to Get the Strap. How is everyone doing on this lovely spring evening, if it will? Is it spring still, Jones? Is it spring? No? No, hey, Ethan, is it spring? Someone in the comments, it's a fucking spring. Yes, no, maybe so. Oh, it is spring. It is spring. Okay. So, hi, Ethan. Let's see. Nico, what's up, baby? This guy puts up the most magnificent photo of I don't know what, is it a classic Shields? I don't know what it is, but he has this beautiful winged eagle that he posts up all the time. And it's just mwah, amazing. Let's see. What does that say? Hobo and his stick. Okay, well, the hippies are here too. Sweet. Let's see. Platinum Swords, what's up? The devil himself. Hi. Mark Walker, what's going on? So I am going to address this right now because one thing I promised to myself was, Bebe, you are not going to allow people to talk about things and to bring down your name anymore. That's not going to happen. We don't do that anymore. I really don't want to allow people to just go and throw out their shit about us. So I'm just going to address this as the host of the show. We're not going to address it anymore. Gary Sutton apparently has been mad at PTM. Why? Well, just like Icon is always mad at, I have no fucking idea why. He says we did something about a cartoon and something. I have no idea. I have no clue. At a lot of times when I heard that he was live saying all these things, I would text the guys and go, what the fuck is he talking about? Because I don't know. Nobody seems to know what the fuck is going on. No one knows. Rob, how you doing? Yes, CS, and thank you, Jay. Much appreciated. We appreciate you and your lovely pictures, good sir. And Drew, what's going on, baby? So I'm going to address this. We haven't done shit to anybody. So please, if you're angry about something, be angry about something. Leave us the fuck alone, okay? Just please. Just leave us the fuck alone, okay? I have no idea what you're talking about. And Jesus, I don't know. I don't know what you want to talk about. I don't know what you're angry about, but it's not us. It isn't us. And I don't know. Go find something to do. But please keep my name, my friends' names, and our podcast names out your fucking mouth because we haven't done shit up to you. And we don't give a fuck if you want to be a savage eagle or savage pigeon. We don't care. Do what you got to do. Enjoy your hobby. Just keep our name out of our shit. All right? So, without any further ado, because we're not going to just sit here and dwell on things that mean nothing to us, I'm going to introduce a personal friend of mine, someone who brings positivity into this community. People keep using that word. Stop saying hobby. It's fucking weird. Stop. It's not the hobby. It's a belt collecting community. I don't understand why it's so fucking hard for people to just say but the hobby. It sounds so fucking fruity. But he is not a freeloading Canadian. Let me bring him on here. Mr. Matt Panetta. Welcome to Get the Strap, baby. How are you?
Thank you for having me, Jay. Good to be here.
Hey, it's good to see you, baby. Look, I love your display in the back. There is one thing I have an issue with.
What's
and
that?
I shouldn't have brought it up now. It's real low of me to bring it up, but those cables bother me. Those cables on that TV bother me.
I hear that, man. I hear that. It's on the to-do list.
And I'm gonna send you a link. And I just gave my best friend who was here. She was eating Colombian food with me. I just gave her they're trackers that kind of hide it. It's just amazing from Amazon. It's like freaking $15. I'm gonna send it to you.
Sounds
but
good,
that display that you have, mwah, amazing.
Caught it.
This guy. So people don't look at you as a freeloading Canadian because that's the first thing they think of when they see you.
Yep.
Explain to me how you started to collect, these championship belts and your journey that brought you to this moment in time.
I would say I started collecting back in 2001 when I received my first replica.
Jesus.
I still have it. Fig's Big Eagle. And ever since then, it's been no looking back, Jay. Collected a few replicas over the years, but once I got older, my teens, watching on the forums on Yahoo, and then I got into handmade belts probably about 6 years ago, give or take. And
Nice.
I've had a few makers. I live and learn the hard way. Sometimes you get a little screwed over. But then I found the top tier Classic Shields, and
Right.
I have only been buying from them ever since.
Speaking of them, you are like Ethan and like us, because apparently we're elitists too. I only have one Classic Shield here. But apparently you're an elitist, snobbish dickhead too. So I want you, just like people say we're elitists, and then again, they don't tell us why we're elitists, because apparently we just buy belts that we want. But being an elitist, shoot from the hip. Tell me why. Why is the reason? Just why the fuck Classic Shields? Why not, throw me a maker? I mean, Asif, Alibaba, Muhammad something, eBay makers. Why not them? Why do you choose to be a snobbish elitist and go to Classic Shields?
Quality. That's the short answer. There's no one in the game today. I'll say that again. There's no one in the game today that can match Classic Shields' quality. And if that makes me an elitist, if that makes me a snob, then I'll take that title, because I've had belts from some of the top makers, and there's some great makers out there. But if you want quality, if you want something that's TV accurate, if you want the closest thing that you can get to a Milliken or a Reggie without forking over 10,000 US or more,
and not getting it,
and not getting it
plus years, yeah,
or trying to get a Reggie. Now look at the prices of a Reggie ever since he passed, right? They've only skyrocketed. They've doubled even in a matter of so many months. For $1,000 or $1,500, now depending on the belt that you get, nothing will touch it. Nothing comes close. And there's a few good makers that are making their way up. I got to give a shout out to Mr. Ali Anas. He's doing some great work. I'm definitely interested.
Did you see that WCW tag? That
I don't think I saw the tag, but I saw the Big Eagle, and I'm a Big Eagle fanatic, as you know, and I'm impressed. It's really good work.
Yeah. So, Classic Shields, do you have any belts on order from them right now?
I got to be careful with what I say if my wife is watching the podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Hey, you do pull the Mike Jones. You won it in a raffle. That's how.
It. I have a few belts on order with CS right now.
What do you got?
I've got the Undisputed V1 and the Warrior IC.
And that would be HD, obviously, right?
It would be. That's the only way. It's the only way. I have one SD belt in my collection, and it's a beautiful belt. It's not by CS, and I have a few replicas as well. But this point onward, it's HD, and I'm just trying to upgrade the few replicas I have. I'm going to keep the NWA Dome Globe by Figs and the AEW replica, but the rest are going to be handmade by CS. You
have the 2016 Dome Globe, correct?
That's right, on Ryan Stokes leather.
That is an amazing belt, my friend. Congratulations on that, because I had to pick between the V3 UFC and the Dome Globe when I was going to buy it, because my wife was like, yeah, you could buy yourself some, but don't buy both. And I was like, all right. And then I was like, you know what? I felt like the NWA was always going to be there. Mm-hmm. So I got the V3 and obviously missed out on the NWA. But good for you for having that. Now, do the wait times, right? The wait times has been an issue with a lot of people. Do you think that the wait times is worth it for what you get in the end? And also, just to piggyback, just have a little question on there.
Sure.
If you're okay with the wait times, do you think that it's because of their honesty that softens the blow from the beginning, that they say, hey, fucker, sit down and wait, because it's going to be a year plus to get your belt?
All good points. Anytime someone's asked me my opinion about Classic Shields, since they know I buy from them primarily, I I'm straight up. I say, be prepared to wait minimum 12 months. I know they say 6 to 8 months or 8 to 10 months. I'm not sure what they're quoting right now. I think it's 8 to 10, but I've advised everybody, be patient. 12 months is, I think, a good average. And it's hard. It's a really hard time to wait. I know my buddy Sev in Australia, he is waiting for a Big Eagle as well. Same style as mine, just different tooling on the leather. And he's been waiting a long time, and it's frustrating. Anyone that buys from CS, this is not knocking them in any way. It's honest criticism. You're going to be waiting a long time. The communication is not always going to be up to your expectation. And I think that's something that we got to work on. We got to, we can't expect an update every single month or an update every single week. Let them do their job. Let them do what they got to do. They do it better than anybody else. And I guess to answer your first question, is it worth it? When you get that belt and you hold it in your hands, you put it on display, you put it over your shoulder, you take pictures like the snob elitists that we are, it's worth it. Absolutely. Yeah. It's worth it because you look at it and it's everything, in my opinion, that you dreamed of and more when you were a little kid. Every WrestleMania that you watched, it's the real deal. It's the real deal. And when you pick it up, and you know what? It's pricey. They are expensive. And I recognize it's not within everybody's financial means. And there are many other makers that you can go to that the quality is good. But when we're talking about quality objectively, no one comes close to CS.
There was a debate, say like a year ago, about who was the best maker in the world. And I think we fucked up here and kind of just screwed the pooch and just threw it together. It wasn't something we're taking like seriously. We just said, ORM is he the best maker in the world? Mm-hmm. We started having that conversation, and then it became this thing that rolled downhill. Now, you were once associated with ORM belts.
That's right.
Do you mind sharing your story from the beginning to now on your association with it?
I'll go off the top and say I've got nothing against Omi. Nothing, no personal bad blood. I know recently there's some stuff that I posted in the Scammers of the Belt page that got me some heat by some of his followers, his diehards. But I think transparency is important in this hobby.
Correct.
And this is something that I have been, I guess, preaching since I really got serious in collecting. I was an admin for ORM about 2.5 years ago. I never middleman or anything like that, but it didn't last. It didn't last after I had an encounter with him about an American-made HD belt that he, to keep the story short, he really messed up on it. He poured paint all over the main plate because he got the color wrong, and he really messed up the plates. Really upsetting, considering it's one of my favorite belts next to the Winged Eagle and Crumrine. And it was a long wait. And so things went sour. We patched things up. Things were good. Things were really nice. We were pretty good friends once again. And he even sent me a wedding gift. Some of you guys probably know that. It was really nice of him.
I didn't know that. Shit.
Yeah, he sent me a wedding gift. My, on this side, sorry, but under the Crumrine right here, the Milliken 2D Big Gold is made by ORM. It was really nice. And he obliged. He said, no, I want to do this for you. And like I said at the beginning, I don't have any bad blood with Omi, but things got sour, especially with this whole Adam nonsense recently, which has been going on for like 12 years. And I've had some issues with him a couple years ago as well, but it always surfaces. It always surfaces, and now that they're working together in some capacity, I let them know straight up, like, this is not a good look for you. This is not a good look for your business. He's associated with you. And, when he's attaching his name to your brand, it's going to hurt you in the long run. And I tried telling him, some of his admins have tried telling him, a lot of people that care about him tried telling him this, but he doesn't seem to listen. And so it's unfortunate with what's going on right now. but we've gone our separate ways. He unfollowed me on all of my my social medias and all that. He's still following my wife though, which is a little sus. But
I'll block you, but the old lady can stay, right?
that's right. But you know what? It's unnecessary drama. We've talked about this so many times, Jay. This community is full of just whiny babies, garbage, drama over nothing, over metal and leather. Who's better than who? I've got my preferences. I've got my reasons. As does everybody.
We all do. We all do. That's the thing. Some people expect certain quality. We all have our favorites. That's
Sure.
not.
It doesn't have to be a constant battle between Orem and Classic Shields. It doesn't have to be. But when you've got one side talking badly about another maker, and I'm not saying Omi's doing that directly, but there's people close to him doing that on his page, on associated pages. It's not a good look. And you don't have to. You can enjoy both makers. You can enjoy makers from all over Pakistan or all over, wherever you're getting your belts from. You don't have to make it a competition. Let the makers compete against themselves, because that makes the hobby better. That makes the product better, right? Competition.
Prices become competitive too.
Absolutely. Prices, quality of the belt, quality of the leather, which CS has really stepped up. And I would say as a result of Orm's quality of his leather. He was the top of the game, but now I'd say CS has matched Omi's leather. And but again, it's not about who's better. I've got my preferences, as do you, as does everyone watching here today. But it's just unnecessary. It's ridiculous what this hobby's become in such a short span. Over, I'd say the last 2 years, it's really gone to shit.
Yeah. And now you're an elitist, and the quality, HD Classic Shields. And for those watching at home, HD is a gimmick type thing. Sure. Over in Pakistan. HD isn't a real thing here in America. When they say HD, they're basically saying American quality plates.
That's right.
So there isn't like a crazy difference between what American makers do and they do in Pakistan with Classic Shields. It's just they call it HD. Now, speaking of SD, when it comes to Omi, what do you think of his quality? Because I've held numerous Omis, and I think the quality is great for an SD. So what do you think what's your stance on the SD Omi belts?
I've held 3. I don't have a lot. I've held 3 SD Omi belts. One is great, and that's the one that I have on my shelf behind me. His big golds SD quality are incredible. I've seen many pictures of the Big Eagle. I think, Jay, you had one. His SD Big Eagle is really nice.
And he sorry to interrupt, but he actually got the curve right. When the last belt he showed me, he sent to me, I'm like, this has too much of a curve, right? And then when I look back at old Attitude Era stuff, and I was watching, and I'm like, oh. And there was a match where it was The Rock versus Triple H, and the belt was laid out on the ring, and you can see the curve. And I was like, oh, this fucker got it right.
Yeah.
When I put it around my waist, and it fits very nice because it has that curve.
Attention to detail is perfect. And yeah, he's done a great job on his Big Eagle. I give him full marks for that. But that's kind of where the controversy with Adam came from, with the Big Eagle, because I got my HD Big Eagle from Omi, and I might be digressing a little bit, but it's ridiculous. His SD quality is fair. I think as of late though, quality control hasn't been the best. My brother had an IC belt that the cut was wrong at the top. The plates were dirty. Underneath the plating, you could see that it's recycled zinc from old car or motorcycle parts. It wasn't a very well-made belt. And then with the conversation I had with Robert that I disclosed, and he gave me Robert, for those of you that are wondering and aren't really filled in, Robert used to be an admin with Orm, and he recently stepped down as well because he couldn't take it anymore, because he just had enough of the antics, had enough of what was going on, and he got screwed over on a couple belts. I think things are okay now, but I think his SD quality is fair, but for the price, I think that's a conversation that's worth having. I'm not spending personally $750 on an SD belt.
That's been a lot of talk. That's been a lot of talk lately.
And you know what? If you feel like that's reasonable, all the power to you. Personally, if I'm buying a belt, an HD belt from another maker like CS or like Alianas, that's $1,000 or $1,200. It's going to blow it out of the water for a couple $100 more, or $300 more or so. It's night and day. Yeah. $750 for an SD belt, I can't justify it. As good as his leather is, I think it's way too high.
That's two Nawaz's right there, I think.
I was just going to bring up Nawaz. Nawaz's SD plates are phenomenal. They might be the best SD plates in the game. My brother just commented. I can see it. So he had the SD Omi belt, and after he saw my HD Classic Shields, he's like, no, this is what I want. And right now he's got a Classic IC, and he loves it. And you can't compare the two. Not that that's what we're doing, but focusing on SD. I think there are other makers out there, in my opinion, that make better SD quality belts. I think that's where I'll end on that note.
Yeah. And so with Omi, there, you mentioned it a little bit earlier, but we've all had a run-in with this Icon guy.
That's right.
Just like what I mentioned earlier before, but this guy more, right? I don't know what Gary's going through. I hope he gets help or just chills out and realizes that, you know what, I need to fall back.
Yeah. But
this guy, I think Gary is someone you can talk to, have a one-on-one conversation and kind of get something out of it. But this Icon guy, a lot of the times, again, I text these guys and they'll tell you whether I'm lying or not. And I go, what the fuck is he talking about? What is he mad at? I don't understand. And every belt has a new version. There's a V7. There's a V8. Then he's like, oh no, this is the V10. And I'm like, what the fuck is he talking? I literally have no breadcrumbs to get fucking back home. What is this guy's deal?
To my knowledge, this started 10, 12 years ago. He's got beef with a lot of people, not just Classic Shields. He's got beef with Dan. He's got beef with Milliken. He's got beef with Shane. He's got beef with some of the top dogs in the community. For I don't know what reason. He holds a lot of grudges. I know with CS, he offered his artwork about 10 years ago in exchange for free belts. I know that was disclosed on one of the podcasts, I think a couple months ago. And ever since then, because CS turned him down, it's been a grudge match ever since. It's ridiculous. And now he's working alongside Orm, and I think he's been working alongside him for a while, but now he's really vocal. Now he's trying to pick a fight with everybody. I'm a nobody in this hobby. I'm just a guy that likes to collect his belts.
What's the thing I say? I always say, and no one is anyone.
Yeah,
we're a bunch of fucking nerds.
That's it.
No one is anyone.
This is supposed to just be fun, where we get together, we show off our shiny new toys, we try and hide them from our wives in a raffle win, and you know what?
Mike Jones it, baby.
That's the thing. It's supposed to be fun. If we call it a hobby, call it a community, whatever lingo you want to use, hobbies are supposed to be fun. You're supposed to, it's an interest. It's something that you're passionate about. It's not fun like it used to be. And people like Adam suck the fun out of it. And I don't know what his deal is. I don't know. I hope he gets the help that he needs, because there's something going on that he's picking fights with everybody, picking fights with my HD Big Eagle that I got from CS, saying, oh, I found 10 errors on the main plate. What he doesn't understand, and what a lot of people, I think, coming into the belt community don't understand, we want our belts to be perfect, or at least some of us do, right? We want it to be TV accurate. It's physically impossible unless you've got the art files from Reggie or from Milliken or from Jamar. Mm-hmm. It's never going to be 100%. But guys like CS, Ismail, has a lot of experience working in graphic design, and I think he's made the best Big Eagle that you can get. It's not to say that Adam is bad at what he does. I think he makes decent artwork. But if you point out a flaw with his artwork, he's coming after you. He limits his comments on his personal page. I'm blocked. I can't see them anymore, but I still find a way to get around that. But there's only about 1 or 2 people that interact with him, 1 or 2 people that will like or comment. And part of that's because he limits it. But if you do look at who comments on his page, it's, I hate to say, the 1 or 2 Orm diehards that will, defend him no matter what. He can do no wrong. And it's just silly, really silly.
Here's the thing. I think there's a problem to have the thought process that everything that you're doing is perfect. Because when you think that you're the best and you think that you know it all and that you're right all the time, the issue comes that there is no room for you to improve. You have capped yourself up. This guy could be a great belt designer. And because he's taking the route that he's taking, he's viewed as a lunatic who can form, a simple, cohesive, a simple sentence, a simple just statement that makes sense. Because a lot of the times I try to keep up and I don't know, maybe this is me, maybe the pot, I don't know what it is, but this guy could do such great stuff, but he's so angry for no reason. And like you said, has all these grudges that you can't get anything, good from him.
Yeah.
And speaking of the animosity, one thing I've always talked about to these guys is I don't want to be the same guy that in 3 years I'm doing the exact same thing I was doing, 3 years ago. I don't want to be that person, right? And I feel like the hobby does this cycle all the time. Do you think that there can be a moment where we all just go, let's just chill out? Or do you think this shit's going to continue to the foreseeable future?
I think these moments, unfortunately, are temporary. I think there's always a calm before the storm. It seems like everything is perfect for a little while. Everyone's kind of getting along. There's no drama, right? There's no drama. Everyone is enjoying their belts, posting pictures, whatever. And then someone stirs the pot, whether it be intentionally or not, but more often it's intentional. And whether it be a maker against another maker or someone in the community just starting shit. I think this is the cycle that we are going to always see. Because you know what? Even back then on the forum days, people would argue and bicker with one another. But I think it's gotten worse because I think part of it is now that technology has advanced and everyone can be a keyboard warrior no matter where they are. We've got the incredible technology at our fingertips. You can be a troll 24/7. And when you've got that kind of a mindset, and that's a greater conversation. That's just not in this community. In so many different hobbies, especially on Facebook, it is people thrive off the drama. And you know what? A little bit now and then, okay, it's entertaining, but let's put that behind us. Let's not focus on it. But this is the cycle. It's always been like this. It's always going to be like this. People are always going to, pin maker against maker, my belt versus your belt. And it's just, will it end? No, not at all. People have too much pride and people are too arrogant and ignorant to, to even apologize to one another.
Yeah. And you're such a beautiful soul. You know that? You are such a beautiful soul. Thank you so much for sitting down with me, my friend. Matt's going to go behind the scenes and he's going to stay back there until overtime. Matt, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you coming on here, and you are welcome back anytime. We'll see you on overtime, my friend.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Now, I tried to talk myself out of this. Mike Jones is... You guys missed it last month because he went to an Impact show. Why? Who knows? But I try to talk myself out of this and say, hey, Jones, listen. Can you try and be positive about this month in wrestling? And I don't know what he's going to say. I really don't know what he's going to do. because I think there was a lot of positive things in wrestling this past month. So I asked him to stick to just this month, um, and I'm going to bring him on shortly uh, to see what he has to say about wrestling again. He's he's not like this normally. He really isn't. He's a really nice guy, and he's actually the voice of reason when it comes to shit. So whatever you see, know is that this man is excessively passionate about what's going on, or at least that's what I use to help me sleep when I say yeah, sure, let's put him on. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, from the great state of Pennsylvania, I give you Mr. Mike Jones. Baby,
Hello,
how
everyone.
are you?
I'm fantastic.
I will leave you to the masses. Please don't burn the show to the ground,
Cheers to you.
baby.
All right, hello, everyone. This past month in wrestling has been pretty interesting. I'm pretty much going to stick to WrestleMania weekend. I want to touch a little bit on AEW from this past week, but for the most part, it's going to be about WrestleMania weekend. WrestleMania, I'm not going to completely start. Yeah, I'll start there because there's a reason. WrestleMania came and went. 2 nights. Mm, but the way the card was set up, it could have been cut down to one great night, but they had to split it to give everybody equal time because the crowd would have died. Now, as far as night one, the night started off very badly with a. Actually, no, I do have a complaint to start off with. Why do we have a pre-show with no wrestling matches on it for 2 hours? We don't need all that. I don't care about what's going on as far as talking. I don't need to build up the hype. No, give me a performance, something. But 2 hours of a pre-show with nothing, I'm good. I don't need to hear about football players. This is wrestling. Wrestling's supposed to be a spectacle. That was not a spectacle. That was unspectacular. All right. Now, as far as the first opening contest, It ended early. I'm not going to fault it, but due to injury, wish a speedy recovery to Rick Boogs because that's the kind of injury that could potentially end a career. Hopefully, it was a clean tear. Boom. As far as we're going to go with night one, the memorable moments for me would have been Cody's return. I've spoken on this before, but I'll say it again. Cody's return was huge. Him versus Seth Rollins was a masterpiece. Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch, though, however, was the match of the night for me for night one. Some people will probably disagree and say it's Cody and Seth, but hey, that's me. Now, as far as what the way the show ended. The show ended with a perfect, what we thought was going to be a perfect bookmark ending for Stone Cold's career. The match itself scared the hell out of me because that man took a bump on concrete. Once he took that suplex, I thought he was dead. They're going to have to black the screen out. No more wrestling. However, he got up, delivered two suplexes on the stage, kept going. It was a brawl. It was a war. It was the perfect match for Stone Cold to go out on. Even though the way he went out before on his back is traditionally, I don't know who you are, so I'm not even going to address you. So you can take that comment down. So then we're going to go from like he could have gone out on his back and it'd have been great, but putting the Rock over finally. But him coming back and getting the W over KO, KO definitely, definitely made that match. You can't have a match is always consistent of two people. If your dance partner isn't great, it's gonna look bad. KO made him look like $1 million that he is. Night two, standout match of that night for me personally, was AJ Styles and Edge. But anybody who knows me knows I'm not going to pick anybody's match over AJ match. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. The Jackass match, I've had time to sit on it. Pardon me, I'm a little parched. It is not as bad as I originally made it out to be. It is not something I personally would put on my WrestleMania card. However, it did what it was supposed to do. It kept the fin. Actually, do it is very delicate. You're supposed to savor the flavor. Um, Now, as far as the Jackass match again, it's not my cup of tea. It wasn't for me. But WrestleMania is what it is because it gives you a hodgepodge of everything. So there's the casual fans, there's the hardcore fans, and there is the fans of the Jackass series. I'm actually a fan of this series, but again, this is not something I would put on my WrestleMania. The main event for this was booked and billed as the biggest match of all time in WrestleMania history. The ending fell flat. I am not complaining about who won because Brock doesn't need it. Brock's on towards the end of his career. He still can go, but Roman needed to win more. However, it just felt like, hey, oh, ooh, I'm hurt. Oh, spear. It's over. Hmm, okay. But I'm not a booker. I've never booked a personal wrestling event. I've only booked wrestling video games. I have been behind the scenes at wrestling events because I do no work. I do work side by side with promoters, but I've never had that booking paper myself. Now I'm going to go to the match that I felt was the best match of WrestleMania weekend. You can at me on this. I don't care what anyone says, but the best match of that weekend was on Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor. FTR versus the Briscoes put on a 27-minute tag team classic. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. You're doing yourself no favors by not watching that. FTR went over. They are now the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. And then what was it, a week or two later? Actually, no, it was that same week. They went on to put on another classic tag team match against a team I'm not a fan of at all anymore. They've become marks for themselves. I'm sorry, brother Ethan. I apologize. I'm behaving myself right now. But if I'm not a fan of the Bucks anymore, they've become marks for themselves. Their egos have become super inflated. I'm not mad at anyone who for I watched them rise from nothing to something. I watched them when they were on that opening match on Ring of Honor. So I've seen their entire growth. I watched them when they were Generation Me in TNA. So before they became themselves, I watched them. But then as they grow, it seemed like everything became more and more about them. I went for them. I watched them grow from $25 for a picture with them to $75 each, 150 if you want a picture of both of them. I was like, oh, you're definitely smelling yourself because you're in a small arena doing this. But again, let me behave myself. Um, Raw after Mania. I've had time to sit on this because I didn't get a chance to speak on it on Culture Shock Live last week. However, I would try to defend it to say maybe they were just going flat because of the national championship being on the same night, and said maybe they'll redeem themselves on SmackDown. They didn't. So I just don't think they know how to book it right now because only thing you're really seeing out of your new undisputed universal heavyweight champion is I need more. Give me an opponent. You acted like Shinsuke was going to be his opponent last week, but um, don't get me wrong. I'm a huge fan of Shinsuke, but when has he been credible for a world championship match? He's been relegated to tag team matches. He had that belt that should be renamed, but it's the Intercontinental Championship because that's not the Intercontinental Championship I grew up on. That's a toy. I think the belts I own have more prestige than that, and I didn't defeat anybody for him. Well, actually, I defeated my wallet, I guess, for him in a sense, but other than that, I think that has more prestige. Now, I've behaved myself for most of the show. Let me try to sip again, and maybe it'll calm me down. Dynamite this week. Great show from start of the show into the last bell of the show when Samoa Joe became the new ROH television champion by beating Minoru Suzuki. When the lights went out, the credits should have rolled. Because at this point, AEW pulled off the most WWE bullshit. I tried to behave myself. I'm sorry. Let me try to calm down. But no, fuck that. Why the fuck do you have your own version of Kali now, or almost whatever you want to call him? But like, okay, yes, he's tall. He's 7'3". Most of your roster is 5'10" to maybe 6 feet tall. He's going to look taller than them, even if he was just 6'5". But you bring in somebody who's had some training. I get you want to bring him in as a bodyguard. This isn't the 90s. If you're bringing in people now, they need to have talent. Or if you want to bring in people and act stupid, you might as well say you're not an alternative to WWE. You are WWE. Because at this point, all you're doing is bringing in XWE talents. You're bringing in ROH talents, and you're signing. Hey, oh, you want a job here? I'm not being mad that people are getting jobs. However, you brought in Keith Lee. You're making it seem like WWE dropped the ball with him. What have you done with him? You make it seem like he's just an average wrestler. He's just another cog in your wheel right now. They're doing nothing with him. He's like, don't get me wrong. If you take this wrong, you don't know me. I love Powerhouse Hobbs. Powerhouse Hobbs is going to have a great future in the company. Potentially in another company that's probably going to use him better because they know how to use big men. AEW, your guys are small, so your big men should not be losing the amount of matches you have them losing. But what do I know? Oh yeah, I do know this. The problem is your bookers are wrestlers. Your wrestlers who are on the active roster should not be booking. So that's an issue with me. But back to the bullshit that ended the show. That that should never happen again. It should not be tolerated under any circumstances. Tony Khan, stop smelling your own ass. Stop saying I have a huge announcement every week. Just do it. Just do it. We don't need to know you're making an announcement. Just have the announcement. And and that's where I'm at right now. That's the last month in wrestling. So there was a lot of highs, but this
My
Wednesday I wanted to gouge my own eyes out.
my brother, I
Yes,
am
sir.
I am proud of you.
I
Beyond
tried
proud.
to I tried to remain calm.
That's all I gotta say. Thank you so much, my brother. I'll see you
Thank you for
later.
having me.
He's fucking crazy. He is fucking insane. The amount of poise it took, I honestly think there was straight gin in that freaking. That's how he was able to restrain himself, and he probably smoked like 8 cigars before coming on. Um, wow. So Thank you so much, Mr. Mike Jones, for your elegant. I wonder if I can have the Mustadon on here and have you two go at it regarding stuff. You imagine that? That'd be a funny thing. So, the WWF Block Oval Intercontinental Championship. Jamar. I probably have made a mistake bringing Ethan on here because Ethan is a huge Warrior fan and he's a huge Reggie IC fan. So let me bring him on because I know he's not happy to be here today. Mr. Ethan Thompson, welcome to Get the Strap, baby.
Wow.
How angry were you when it debuted?
I wasn't angry. I was hurt, but I understand. They didn't do it. They didn't do it in distress. Like, so you have some belts, right? I'm just gonna be real. I've been sitting backstage and I've been spewing. You know, I've been spewing. Like, they didn't do it a disservice like they did other belts. Like that belt right there, they did a total disservice to. But I could live with it.
Yeah,
I could live with it.
Oh my God, you can let you sure?
I can.
Would if you had the option to bring a belt back, which one would you bring back?
Oh, 100% the classic IC.
Oh yeah, you can't live with it then.
You can't.
You can't. I am also going to bring on the biggest bully in the world. He is, you know something? I do at times worry about Joseph. You can't be that sexy and just get away with it all the time, right?
It's one of those things with Joey. Like he mixes like the sexiness with like the bulliness, and you're like, bro, okay, I get it. Wow. I'm just the gardener.
So here's the thing. Oh my God, Joey, what did you think? Again, we are all fans of the Reggie IC. What did you think the first time that you saw that belt?
Well, let me talk because, I became like, I guess, an elitist this week. So,
Yeah.
It's crazy because it was the night after WrestleMania 14. And it's on Raw, the opening show, you have Stone Cold coming out with the Winged Eagle. Vince is holding the Block logo, Big Eagle. And you're like, whoa, what the hell, Like, there was no announcement that the belt was changing. And then you see, like, later on the show, The Rock coming out with the...
Hold on. Go back to that comment.
Yeah, I know. J-Mar's his favorite. That's why he's going to be here next month.
He's going to be here next month, and we're going to have some words. That dude only lives like 45 minutes from me. If I gotta make the visit, bro, I gotta make the visit and correct him.
So
when the Rock,
Joey, go ahead.
So when The Rock came out, with the Block logo over IC, I was like, what the hell's the classic IC that I saw last night? Like they didn't even make an announcement like, hey, we're having a new belt. Hey, no. I'm like, oh, is there gonna be new tags? No, same freaking tags. Why not? But I have
agreed, Gigi.
It replaced such an iconic belt. Like, I love the classic IC, the Winged Eagle. But that Block logo, Big Eagle, on the blue leather and the oval IC on purple leather with the black rock backing. Man, like, something about it. I liked it. And, of course, that ladder match at SummerSlam 98, who can forget it, with Triple H and The Rock.
I was watching that shit at work today.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it in WWF history, The Rock and Triple H and The Rock and Stone Cold are the only wrestlers that feuded over the IC and the world title.
Yeah. And the final panelist on here making his grand entrance, he is Catherine's husband, Mr. Jameson Bennett. How are you doing, baby? Look at him.
That jury's still out on the husband part.
I'm doing great. Yeah. Boyfriend, girlfriend.
Boyfriend and girlfriend. Ooh, sorry, I may have jumped the gun there. I was gonna send you a wedding present like Omi did Panetta, but since you're not married, I'll hold it off till then.
I might really consider it for that.
Yeah. So, Jameson, you are Mr. You're like me. You fall in the category of me, Gianni, other guys, Attitude Era guys, right?
I
What
thought
did
you were going to
you
say
think?
me, Gianni, and Babel. Sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Babel too. Babel's an Attitude Era guy too. So what did you think when you? Because even though I'm an Attitude Era guy, when they transfer over, I wasn't happy because you went from having this magnificent belt to it's a great looking belt, but I just what did you think when they transitioned over?
I was 5, so I have
You
no
don't
record.
remember that shit.
Bro, this was the first belt I remember other than like the world titles and the tag titles from that time.
Well,
So
we are gonna walk you through it, Jameson. Don't you worry.
I know The Rock was the first champion and Cody Rhodes was last champion because I did my homework and watched some Hazard F5 on my way home from work. Or well,
My
listen,
boy,
didn't watch. That's
I love the research. I love all of it. Ethan, did you know? No, you do know. I'll ask Jameson. Jameson, do you know that the belt that we are going to review tonight
Mhm.
is a belt that was not available from the shop? It was never put out by what was it?
Figures Inc.
Figures Inc.
Figures Inc. Yeah, Figures Inc. Did you know that,
No, I didn't.
bro? We're gonna put you on the thing. Ethan, let me ask you a question. I want to go to you and then go to Joey. Why do you think that they didn't come out with this belt?
It did. If I remember right, it wasn't around for. It wasn't. How long was it around? It wasn't around. It switched rather quickly.
Yeah.
I'd say like
somebody correct me in the
December-
comments. I'm sure.
December maybe or January. I think it went to the scratch.
Yeah.
Of
See,
99.
and it was one of those things. I think at that time they were just switching from Reggie's to Jmar's, so that was what Jmar threw out real quick. So again,
Okay. And Joey, you tell me, what do you think? What's the reason why? Do you think why didn't they?
You know what? That's a good question. I do not know. I wish they would have, because it was a beautiful belt that would have looked good with the purple leather. But even though, like, when the Rock had it, by the time Rock got to SummerSlam '98, the belt was black from the baby oil. So, but I remember, you know, what's funny about that? I remember, you know, you had the Jax figures, and there was a 4-pack of the Intercontinental, the tags, and the world. You know, and it was Austin, Rock, and I forget who else. I was so mad when I bought that thing that the oval IC, the block, the strap was brown. I was like, what the hell? This thing?
Yeah.
This ain't brown. Like, it's supposed to be purple. But I think it would have made a beautiful Figures Inc. I think it would.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
Listen.
be quiet, Marabito. You have no right to comment.
So, Ethan, before
Yes,
we get started on this slide, on the slideshow, I want you to tell me, Jmar, what do you like Jmar as a belt maker? Before you say anything bad, I need you to understand something. John Bodoy, that's his favorite.
and it's my least favorite now. It's my least
Now-
favorite now.
But you know, one of the things I used to do, I would look at the Better Business Bureau stuff about Jmar, right? He has a lot of complaints on the Better Business Bureau for I don't know what people obviously not getting their belts, right? It's what do you think about him as a maker and just the stuff that he can do?
So Jmar as the maker was like the polar opposite of Reggie. Reggie used dark blue, Jmar used light blue. Reggie was Captain Crocskin backing, you know, and there was a lot of, in this time though, there was a lot of belts like, so you had the Big Eagle that Jmar did, you had the Oval IC and those belts. Then there was a couple of pictures like, I'm still trying to figure out. There's a picture of the Hardys with a block logo tag belt.
Mm-hmm.
that is a Reggie style, but like the WWF's painted black and stuff like that. So I try to figure out who's really been who at this time, because WWE probably went to the same people and were like, "Can you give me this belt? I need it then." But J-Mart as a maker, I think he lives and dies by 2 real belts, and that's the Smoking Skull and the Big Eagle. As a maker, I mean, good luck getting a hold of him. I've tried to get a hold of him. I've messaged I do like 900 times.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've gotten 1 message back.
From him?
From him. I got 1 message back from him because I was trying to source Big Eagle plates. And he told me he had some block logo Big Eagle plates. But that was the last message I ever got.
Wow. Joe, when was this?
Actually, it wasn't that long ago. It was it's probably about 6 months ago because I was still waiting for that Omi in stock.
Wow. Okay. Huh. Joey, what do you think about J-Mar as a belt?
Oh man, I'm gonna go with piggyback off Ethan because him and Reggie were the polar opposites. Like Ethan said, Reggie used dark blue, J-Mar used light blue. Reggie used the belt tip, J-Mar didn't. Reggie tooled around the logo plate, J-Mar. I mean, he didn't make bad belts. I mean, he made some good UFC belts. I have one that he made. I mean, the Big Eagle, he made some nice ECW titles. I mean, he came around, I mean, you know, when WWE switched from Reggie to J-Mar. I mean, you know, it was like a shot, you know. I mean, now looking back, but when we were younger, you know, we didn't really realize what was going on. But now, you're like, damn, man, you know, I wish they would have stuck with Reggie, but I understand why Reggie said no. Mm-hmm. But J-Mar, you know, you hear from people from UFC, like they did a documentary about him and on the UFC's website. I mean, J-Mar was a prick, even to them. Like, he would just tell people off and just be mean to them. Now, I did message J-Mar once and I got a message back. It was about the backing on the block logo Big Eagle. But that was the only message. I mean,
he did make some good belts. He made the Smoking Skull.
Yes.
He made, well, what else did he make?
European.
He made this belt.
Big Eagle, the European, right?
Yeah, the 3-plater US title.
Yep.
Made some WCW belts too. And the 3D Big Gold.
He did?
But yeah. But the problem with J-Mar is much like the whole plight of this community, and people want to get mad at, oh, he's bootlegging this, and the top guys are like, yo, it's a bootleg, it's you're not going through Midwest, you're not going through this. Yo, I've tried to message these people.
Right.
I've tried to do all this. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to Classic Shields and get what I want.
Why not, right?
Sue me.
Because, and that's the one thing that I do wanna say before we move on. I want you to explain this, Ethan, because I think you're the best one that is going to get this across to people. When you, let's say you want an IWGP V4. No.
Don't say the
V5.
V5.
No. Not. I wasn't gonna say that. V3. Right?
Yeah.
Who's gonna make that belt for you? Can you go to Jay? Can you go to Rico? Can you go to who was it that made it? Milliken, and say, hey, I need you to make me this belt. Can you do that?
No. You can't do it, and they're not gonna do it. And even if they blow smoke up your ass and say that they will do it, and you put a deposit down, you're never going to get the belt. And that's the whole thing is like, for me, is like, we can get in this, like, again, this community is full of, like, egos and, like, weird shit that just goes on. So, like, for me, like, all these TNT belts and the AEW belts and all these belts, right, you know, Dan and Ron and they make, I have a lot of respect for what Dan and Ron do. I'll never get one of those belts bootlegged. Personally.
Right.
I appreciate what they do and I understand what they do. But when your argument is for me for a winged eagle or something like that, bro, that shit's out the window. That shit's out the window. Just gone. So when you take the arguments, you have to fight your battles where you can win them and where you can't.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to tread lightly on telling people what to do, but don't put your money with Milliken.
No.
Just don't.
I'm still waiting. I am
Yeah, I was
still
gonna say
waiting.
you have one on order, correct?
It doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't exist anymore. Oh my God. Listen. So you can't get this. The reason why I was telling Ethan that is because you can't get this belt. This belt, you can't get an official. And I thought I found one, right? And you guys know I wear glasses, right? The glasses I wear is to protect my eyes from the blue light. So when I take them off, I was doing the editing always with my glasses on, and I thought I found an actual J-Mar. And now it's sus. It was real suspect. I'm going to show you guys at the end what I mean. But you can't find this belt, an official replica at all. And that's what I try to tell, I try to have the conversation with different individuals that are against the boots. And I'm like, dude, where is it that I'm going to be able to get this belt? Where? Show me where, even if it's going to cost me $4,000, I'll get it. The IWGP V4, me and Jones are saving money on the side to one day get it. We do spend the money on things because, it's a little bit about the money. But we do spend things, and John Bordeaux is going to be here next month, actually.
Yo, he's a beautiful individual, by the way.
He really is. I love his sneaker collection. But you can't get it. You can't. And then one of the things that I do disagree with people that are against the boots that say, oh, well, you can't get everything in life. Well, why not? Why can't I get what I want? I want this belt. No one else can make it. Why can I have it? So let's get into it.
Hold on. And at least have the common courtesy to understand that, I'm not going to go boot an IWGP V5 or a TNT belt. I'm not saying everybody, but at least for me, I respect your plight and I respect where you're coming from. So you'll never see it on my DTOF.
Yeah. So, Jameson,
Yeah.
I'm going to go to you, sir.
Okay.
If you wanted to get this belt, I know you have the scratch, gorgeous belt. Where would you go? What would you do to get this? If you're a new collector, you kind of go more on the NASCAR stuff. Where would you go to get a scratch block oval Intercontinental?
You mean like who would I go to for advice, or who would you,
if Catherine said to you, Jameson, baby, I want a block logo Intercontinental Championship. You need to get this deal done for me. Who are you gonna go to? Where are you gonna go to?
Off the top of my head, well, Mustafa Hussein made this, so I might consider going to Mustafa Hussein just to see how bad the damage is going to be on that, because I already know what he can do. Yeah. That'd be my first thought.
That would be your first thought, and again, we always preach this on this show because we get called elitist. Jameson, have I ever ragged on you for the belts that you collect and the makers that you have? Have I ever talked shit to you about them? Has anyone here ever talked shit about that to you?
No.
We choose to buy classic shields. We choose to go to the higher because that's what we want. We want perfection. If you want to go to Mustafa, you can do that, right? And you're going to get yourself a decent belt. Now, the reason why, and I mentioned this to the guys earlier today, this is the first time, and thanks to Mr. Mike Jones, this is going to be a short presentation. You can't get an official replica of this, but for the first time ever, there are two eBay makers on this list. And the reason why is because I've had numerous individuals reach out to me through Messenger. And listen, I am horrible at Messenger. I'm barely ever on. If you message me on Messenger, it's rare when you get me. Ask me for my number. I'll text it to you and we can text back and forth like that. That's perfectly fine. But Messenger, Jameson can tell you, anybody else who texts me on Messenger, Jameson, you have my number. Why the fuck do you send me messages on Messenger?
Do I have your number?
You have my cell phone number. Why do you have?
How long ago did you send it?
That shit. We'll talk about that shit.
I got John.
Listen,
I got you.
the first belt, we're gonna go. We have to go straight to the overseas makers. Baracus. Look at Brian Allen, bro. This fucking guy. I literally want to hang out with him in New York one day on his truck route and shit that he does. I want to see because I feel like everybody knows this fucking guy.
Me and BA have the Chippendales, Patrick Swayze, Chris Farley. We're gonna rock that someday. It's gonna happen.
A DNA. You mean a TNA legend from Classic Shield? Wait, Carnage. I think you and I are belt twins because they're making two, and I think the other one is yours. Huh. So here's the first one. eBay seller Attire Baba.
Oh,
Okay. You'll look at this and you think it's black. It's actually not black. It's the lighting, and they painted it too dark, but it's actually purple. Yeah, it's too dark. So here are the specs: $150. The rating is low. 2mm brass, low quality machine stamped leather. I'm gonna start with the snobbiest of the snobs, Ethan. Hit me.
Again, see, I hate that I'm pigeonholed as a fucking snob. I'm gonna go on a tiny rant because I'm pigeonholed as a snob. No, I'm not pigeonholed as a snob. I want you to understand what you're paying for and what you're getting. You can't advertise something that you're paying for, but you're not getting. So there's a lot of low end makers. That's not just this belt included. There's a lot of low end makers that will advertise 24 karat gold and stuff like that. I get it.
Yeah.
But again, if your belt, if they advertise it as 24 karat gold and it's covered in clear coat, automotive clear coat, that's not 24 karat gold. You don't clear coat a belt that's gold plated. One.
Keep going.
I'm sorry. You just don't do it. Two, this price right here, $150. Yo, if that's your budget, bro, buy that belt and be happy with it. Be entirely happy with it. There's just way too many toxic people on a forum to go on a page and be like, what do you think about my belt? Because when you say, what do you think about my belt? You're going to get exactly what people think about that belt. So just chill. Enjoy your belt. Love your belt. For me, not my cup of tea. Not what I'm going to do. Brass is going to tarnish regardless of what you do. How much clear coat you put on it.
Tarnish is bad.
Yep.
Joey, you've had experience up and down the quality basis, baby. Talk to me.
woo. This belt is shit.
Be nice, bro.
I'm just
Wow.
saying. I'm sorry. I gotta be truthful.
And I'm the dick.
I mean, this is
You are,
called
but, yeah.
Get the Strap. No maker safe, right? Nobody's
true.
safe. Nobody's
Hey!
safe, right?
That was season
Baby.
1, baby. We're
It
trying
don't
to
matter.
mature.
We're
Baby.
coming over to season 2.
No, you're right. You're right,
Okay.
baby. You're right.
I
You don't
mean,
like it.
I don't. The brass and the 2mm plate thickness. I mean, the leather. Gosh. Just looks like dog shit, man.
Jameson, what do you think?
I'm not a leather expert, but I could make some better leather out of my shitty toilet paper.
And here's so Jameson coined the term. What did you coin it? Let me see if what is this, Jameson?
A box of doom.
Oh,
So yeah, So
does that say bingo sale?
it does say bingo. So
It does.
Son of a bitch. They're protecting their damn artwork, you dick.
V7s, bro. V7s.
Ethan,
V42. I win the belt.
Ethan, the leather in your house can be draped over me, and it literally would just put my, pussy level up a notch. Talk to me about the leather.
The leather. There's no bevel. They did the clamshell. You got the snap box of doom. There's no burnishing. There's no anything. So what they did was they drew a template and took an X-Acto blade, cut it, stamped it, and slapped some plates on it, and colored it the wrong color. And that's what you have for $150. Be appreciative of what you have for $150. Nobody's telling you not to.
Joey, if I re-leathered all your belts in this, what would you do?
I would go to your house
Okay,
and burn all those Dragon Ball Z things in your house.
And the Funko Pops.
I got this from Franklin, bro. Chill. Wow.
It don't matter. I will throw that in the fire and piss on it too.
Wow. Jameson, what did you call it again?
The box of doom.
I think that should be a shirt. The box of doom.
Well, I got it from Wayne, and Wayne got it from Hazard F5, I think, is what he told me when I mentioned it to him after.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
both
where
great guys.
That's Green Ranger to you.
Hey, that's my daddy, bro.
I love Hazard,
I mean,
bro.
I always go to the you can get this, you can push it through, you can get it, you can get whatever you want, but understand that there's a difference in quality. I don't have an issue with someone buying this. Jameson has something from Mustafa Hussein that he loves and enjoys. That is perfectly fine. My issue is when people start to say this is the same as the higher. It's not because I bought it and I own it and I spent the money on it.
It's fucking reality.
It's exactly. So we want to make sure that people get good quality things. If this is what you want, then fine. And we know a lot of people are content with that. They get it. Anyone outside of the community, right? Carmine says this all the time, and I have to agree. Anyone outside the community looks at this shit and goes, "That's a fucking fantastic looking belt," right? Because we're the dickheads that go into the details about it. And just remember that if you are enjoying the content that we are bringing to you, even this lovely belt, make sure to smash that like and subscribe buttons so you can stay notified and we can work on the algorithm.
Thumbs up or down, bro. It don't matter.
No, Gigi, I'm not saying that Mustafa's work is like this. No. What I'm saying is that Mustafa obviously, can have some improvements on things, but I'm saying that if you have the makers that are on a lower quality that people are that enjoy, why not? Y'all gotta chill. That 150 is fire. Box of Doom.
Mustafa's in that. So there's like 150 and there's 250 and then there's like that 350 to 450 range. Mustafa's in that 250 range. This guy's in the 150 range. Just what it is.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. There are only two real dudes in this room right now. And that's me and Mr. Brian Allen. Because we both know that QI Champ is the best fucking maker in the fucking world. And you dickheads don't know anything what you're talking. Hey, watch yourself. Well, I will not have such things be spoken of in this podcast.
Just
get him the fuck out of here. QI Champ is the fucking best, bro. I will not have such. Now you were moved to the bottom.
That's okay.
That shit. Me and Brian Allen are not going to allow this shit to happen. Okay. Moving on to our second make. Hey, Numinali, baby.
Numinali, baby. You gotta get that black logo, baby.
So here, eBay seller, this kilt, this actually eBay seller has a picture of a guy with a kilt on. So love the creativity.
Is it Roddy?
Yeah, this kilt. So here's the thing. The leather is, subpar, but it's better than what you saw earlier, right? $289.99 includes shipping. Okay. I had to put medium low because I just couldn't put medium. I wanted to put medium because Jones said, Jay, stick to fucking 3 belts. Plus
I would have
tape.
donkey punched
That's
you.
it.
I would have donkey punched you if you had put medium.
Yeah, and I was like, bro, I can't just put fucking medium. So 4mm brass, low quality machine stamp leather, 4 to 6 weeks. Joseph, you just got your Classic Shields Winged Eagle.
I did.
4 to 6 weeks compared to what was the time you got? How
What was
long?
that, Joey? Go on, Joey.
It wasn't 4 to 6 weeks. I wasn't given a time frame. It took exactly a year. Now,
Oh, they didn't give
Hold
you
on,
a
hold
time.
on, hold on. Gianni, I'll never be Gianni because I don't frequent a Motel 6.
Hey, at least he's getting asked, not like many other people.
Do
in
you,
this
do you
community.
want to go there too? Because I can do that too.
so mine
All day
was
long.
a year wait. Okay, I don't want to hear nothing in the comments about, hey, how did you get yours in a year? Okay.
A year? They didn't. You just did say that they did not give you a time frame.
They didn't. Not
Okay.
when I ordered. Nope.
Okay. Jameson, you've seen the previous belt. What do you think of this one compared to that one?
It looks like the same leather cut, if not a little bit better. There you go. That's better for me. I mean, it's not like this is how it's cut. It's very. It goes straight, then it kind of transitions into that curve. That
Mhm.
looks like it just goes up randomly.
Put it up.
You know?
Put it up.
See how it transitions up a little at a time?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm noticing the most about leather
That's
cuts
a
right
clean.
now.
That's a clean belt, Jameson. Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Snobbish, go ahead.
Wow.
Destroy. I don't even
Well,
want you
again-
to touch the fucking leather. Go ahead with the plates.
Well, since you don't want me to touch the leather, I'm gonna touch the leather. The leather's just fucking trash. It's buffalo leather, or camel leather, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So that's one. Two, it's brass. It's gonna tarnish. It's covered in clear coat. The artwork's wrong. Everything like that. But again, you're looking. I look at things by the price, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was the price? $289.
$289.
$289.99.
$289.99 for $350. You can go to a cat like Nawaz and get a
does great
superior
work.
belt.
does really good
Superior. Nawaz is the best SD maker in the game per price.
And he has a few belts in stock. Just saying.
He does. Go check my
What
boy
does he
out.
have in stock?
He's got an undisputed.
V1.
He's got a dual plated tag, and I can't remember the last one he has.
It was an NWA US.
There you go.
Yeah.
See,
So
Stay
I-
off of
I-
eBay.
Yeah, I mean, I messaged Nawaz. He messaged me back. Some people don't get that enjoyment. I'm sorry, but tough luck. Better luck next time.
I have an IWGP V4, 6mm stacked, because I don't want you guys think that I'm lying. The IWGP V4 that me and Jones are gonna get, the official replica, I want to actually frame that and not touch it. I want a belt that I can touch, and I would like a good SD maker to make me it. Owe me wanted $2,200 for a damn SD IWGP. I'm like, baby, I can't do it. Nawaz is doing a 6mm stack with the upgraded leather. I'm giving his updated upgraded leather a shot. Paid an extra $70 for it. I paid a total of $1,070 for it. Me and he sends me like, I think like every month he sends me like an update. I'm like, yeah, you good, because you know me. I don't give a shit about time frames. That's not to me. I order the belt. That's it. The belt's mine. But Joey, before we move on to the next one, you are very good at detailed with belts. You've taught me shit that I've never thought I would fucking know. Is that the W on it? You see the right here? I don't know if you guys can see. Right here, the WWF.
Yes.
Right here on the top. Wait, let me go back to that. Is that outline missing, or is it not supposed to be there? Or what is it? The top of the WF.
Oh, that
See the black outline? It's like faded?
is missing.
It's missing because that's what you get with brass.
Yeah.
And bad etching.
Jesus. And South America isn't even there.
It was coming.
Huh.
So it got laughed
So-
out.
And listen, you guys here who are
But
watching the show.
I want to
you
say
guys-
this. I give him points for the leather. At least he got he was trying to get the purple leather, correct?
The leather's not bad.
I mean,
No,
it needs
the
to be a
leather-
little bit darker.
No. Don't even say not bad, bro. Do you have
No,
a picture
I
of that
mean-
snap box?
Oh,
What I'm talking about is the color.
I
The color.
give him a little
The
credit
color.
for the color.
I give him a 3 out of 10.
So, I do have to say, I'll look at it, Gigi. Mwah, love you.
He punched an
I-
extra hole in that leather. If you look at the picture you're on right now, next
yeah,
to the
I
plate,
gotta
that's
see.
another hole. That's another hole.
I see it. But I do want to, before we move on, I do want to thank everyone for joining the Get the Strap Facebook group. And if you haven't, go ahead and join. We're trying to build stuff there so we can post the pictures here. We want to get a page that's actually just on facts, no bullshit. We just want to make sure that everything gets put on there. Also, Scammers of the Belt. Make sure you join that so you can be aware of who the fuck to stay away from. And also our PTM group, and we really do appreciate you guys joining there. Everything from belts to movies, pop culture, everything is on there. So we do appreciate everyone who has joined there, and if you haven't, you go ahead and join all of them. So no detail on the plates. I'll fade away and classify myself as obsolete.
Yes, Jones.
Oh, never mind. He gets a 1. He gets a 1.
So here's
go
the
back.
thing.
Go back to the other one. I'm sorry.
I'll go.
Look at that property plate.
It's beautiful.
What
I
is
dig
that?
it.
What is that?
I've never actually seen that property plate in my life.
Neither have
Did it have a property plate?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
It was the same as the Block Big Eagle, but it said
Ooh.
Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion.
Because it wasn't the Jmar phone number one. Yeah, it was just the regular one, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Jmar phone number was on the European,
European.
and the that was it.
Oh,
The
Gigi
US
has a
3 plater
really,
just had an all gold.
look. Gigi has a really good freaking display on that. I like that,
Yeah.
Gigi.
He just sent me that picture too.
Oh, that's
It's
cute.
good.
It's not bad.
So moving on to our high maker. You know, this was medium low, high. ORM belts. So when I saw this belt, when I saw Ethan, calm down. When I saw this belt, I messaged Jones right away and I said, bro, you know, I honestly, and I'm gonna show you guys see what I mean. He got I don't know if he did it to mimic the sweat and the oil when it started getting darker, right? But he did get the leather a little too dark. We're gonna talk price, and I'm gonna start with you, Joey. $750. It does, bro. It really does.
I like
No
the belt.
QI champions, bro.
I'm a sticker for accuracy. The backing should be black croc, but the plates are beautiful. It looks lovely. I like Orm. Don't have a problem with Orm. Get along great. I got my belt in 6 months, but that 4 months is a lie. And $750,
It's steep.
I can't justify that. I can't, not for his SD. It's I like Orm. So I messaged Orm about a belt about a month ago. Like, hey man, he hit me right back. I'm like, yo, how much is this belt? Certain belt. He tells me $750. He's like, you want to put an order in? I'm like, no, just looking, thank you. I can't do it.
It's a lot of money.
It is just
A lot of money.
when you can go for, I'm gonna go with Nawaz now. When I can get an
That's
HD,
two Nawazes, bro.
When I can get, but I can get a Nawaz HD for $100 more.
And it's to come out super clean. Now, I was gonna move to Ethan, but I know he's gonna go on a fucking rant. So
What?
Jameson, compare this belt, and I am gonna, because Ethan doesn't need this. Ethan knows this shit by the back of his fucking back of his hand. what do you think of this belt compared to the two previous that I have shown you?
It looks a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's some vast improvements compared to the other ones, obviously. With the price range being higher, it's higher quality. With even the plates, even the leather, anything on it is way better than the last two pieces of shit we saw. I don't know if I could justify $750 like you're saying. I could see maybe $350, $400 max for that.
Because between not between us, I think that Nawaz can pull this off for half of the price.
I did see a Nawaz SD. It's on his page of this belt.
Really?
Yeah.
How did he do on the color of the leather?
Looks good. Looks purple. Not brown like this, but bright shade of purple.
Jameson, do you prefer this darker or do you want the kind of colorful purple? Which one do you prefer from the ones I've shown?
I like the black strap better.
The black?
I like the black strap, yeah.
Okay. All right.
If it's dirty, it's not going to be a problem, you know. Whereas the purple, the stories, it's going to show.
Yeah, and it's like white too. But here he's going to go on his rant, so we're just going to let him be, and then we're going to move on to the actual maker itself.
Wait, what?
What?
A rant about what?
Go ahead, preach your truth.
No, ask me the question, bro.
I am not holding you back on shit. What do you think overall of this fucking belt? Go ahead. I am not holding you back. Go ahead.
So that's the misconception. Phenomenal belt. Omi makes a great belt. Nobody disputes Omi makes a great belt. But now here he comes into the pickiness. If I want to get picky, at what you have this listed at $750?
Mm-hmm.
For $750, you can go to Nawaz, get as good, if not better, plates because again, Omi's plate quality in the last 6 months to a year has taken a hit. So you can get
why. Why do you think that is though?
I can send you pictures of WCW United States and other belts that, they're whoever he's making his belts or whoever's making his belts overuse the leather or the acid. So the detail's not there anymore, and he gets by on his leather, right? So he gets by on his leather. So for the price and budget, if you have a budget of $750, I would tell anybody to go buy Nawaz plates for $300, $325, whatever they go for, and then you can get AJ or somebody's leather, Ryan's leather for $250, $300, and you're still under the price of an Omi on American leather, and the plates are as good, if not better, than Omi. It has nothing to do with my personal feelings with Omi. I think he is a phenomenal belt maker that's in over his head.
Gigi would like to how the plates look on Oxblood strap. Oxblood. Gigi, I really want to keep the Oxblood to the belts that had the Oxblood. But I do have to say that
NWA television.
Yes,
on
and
Oxblood.
I forget what's his name?
Brian Jordan,
yes. I want it so bad for him to make me a universal on Oxblood red. Just send him some universal plates like
that dude
and get it on the Oxblood red. Yeah. It's one of the plates for our so $750, it's hard to justify, right? Because again, I think you can go to Nawaz, and again, we've said this before, we'll say it again. Ethan, fucking re-leather from one of your guys. What's the number?
Let's see here. So I got behind me a Romeo Anderson, and I got behind me a AJ Giddings.
Give me someone that's affordable that's going to give you a fantastic.
There's some guys like you got your Ace Hernandez's right now that are doing great work. What's his name? Anthony
Mendoza.
Mendoza. Anthony
I've seen some
Mendoza
good shit from him.
looks like he's doing phenomenal work. There's a lot of guys and a lot of options out there for leather.
Give me an average price of a leather job from one of those.
Let's call it 275.
Joey.
That's your average.
Sweet Talk Noirs, how much can you get the plates for?
300.
So you're talking
But also,
500.
yes, but there's also certain leather guys that if you tell them a belt, the prices
Yeah, but
will
the-
differ on the belt.
So if you so let's stick to the prices of, like, say, 275 with Ethan's average. You get them for 300. That's 575 that you could get the same belt from Noirs.
Mhm.
One American leather.
Yeah.
Right? Jameson, you're seeing this, and you know you deal with your money the way that you deal with your money, right? How would you go still Omi because Omi has the name, or would you say, look, I'm gonna go to Nawaz, I'm gonna save this amount of money and just get it from him? Which one would you do?
Like the leather, it's just the leather.
Would you pay Omi $750 to give you this belt, or would you rather pay $300 to Nawaz for plates, $275 to an American guy, and now you got a top tier leather belt for just $575? Which one would you go with?
Hell no on the whole thing from Omi, but I could see where I would go with what Ethan was saying. Take the plates from Omi and then get
From
some other
Nawaz.
person.
No,
Leather,
Nawaz, because
yeah.
Omi's going to charge you what, $600 for
Leather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Omi obviously is doing, he does great work. I will never take that away from him. His times, his communication could be better. And we had that conversation earlier with Matt Panetta about the guy that he's associating with, the icon guy who seems to be lost about everything. But he does great work. But 750 is kind of a little steep from what you can get with the alternative. Now, this is what I was saying earlier. This belt is weird. You can't get it from an official source. You have to go through either booths or try to get the original maker. So I was looking and I found this. Yes, it has the eBay thing on here. This is how shitty. Here's the problem I have with people from the old Yahoo pages, because I used to be, when I had no belts, when I literally had the foam belts, and even my sister had, like, I think it was the Undisputed she got on her Sweet 16. That's literally all we had, and we would be on the Yahoo groups. There's always this secrecy, right? Ethan has been scouring the fucking internet left and right for that logo plate, for that what is it? Is it the logo plate or the tip?
It's the tip. It's the belt tip for the WrestleMania 6
tip on that
yellow
shitty
IC.
ass belt.
Just the tip, baby. He's been looking for this thing for a very long time. So, and he can't find it because of the secrecy. This is another thing that's secret. And here's what I meant where this belt got weird. And I have to go a little further and I'll come back. Jameson, you see this, and I'm going to ask Jameson because you guys both know about belts beyond belief. I'm not trying to talk down to you, Jameson. I'm just saying both Joey and Ethan kind of know more about this stuff. You see the color of that strap, right?
Yeah.
It's a kind of darkish, right? Is it the same as this?
Hell no.
Right? So that's what I found.
Like this or something.
Yeah, so this is the Jamar stamp. And obviously the leather, I don't know if it's the camera, I don't know what, but that purple is way too light to be this. So I don't even know. And here's the thing, because of the secrecy, I can't tell you price. I can't give you dimensions because there's always the secrecy bullshit that goes on in the hobby. So let's say it is a Jamar. Joey, would you spend like the 4, 5, 6, 7K that people are asking for this?
No.
Jameson, would you? Oh, this.
Hell no.
Ethan, rant away.
How much?
4 to 7K.
Again, there's a. It's an official Jamar, but
quote unquote, because again, I don't think that this is the same fucking belt.
this is the thing, though. You have to do your research because there's other people in the hobby that have 4 showers that have bought an official Reggies that weren't official Reggies. So there's a due diligence you have to do. And again, don't be afraid to reach out to the Dan McMahons and everybody that'll be able to help you authenticate this stuff. But for me, is that belt doesn't mean shit enough for me to ever think about spending $5,000 on, $4,000 on.
Right.
It just doesn't.
The shit is not like, to me, I'll give you an example. I wanted to buy the NWA concept. My wife bought it for me. That belt to me, I've always, since I learned about it when I was a kid, I've always wanted the NWA concept because I thought the Crumb Rind was beautiful, but I always thought it should have that NWA logo on top. I finally was able to get a hand on the actual belt that was made, right? That's a belt that I will spend money on. This, I would literally just go to Nawaz. This isn't a favorite belt of mine.
Yeah.
Right? This isn't one of my holy grails. I would just go, hey, Nawaz, hook me up with an SD, throw it at Ryan Stokes, and call it a fucking day. Right? But I think a lot of the times it goes on in the hobby that you have things. How can we authenticate that this is his actual stamp?
Well, see,
Right?
and that's not a Jamar stamp I've ever seen before. Because Jamar stamps has some frilly things that go along and a different stamp. So for me, I'll be like, I look at it, I'll be like, that's not a Jamar, that's a bootleg Jamar. Because there's bootleg TRB stamps out there for like some of these Impact belts and stuff like that. So you gotta be.
We tried, bro.
I mean, there could be a leather guy that put that Jamar stamp on there. You do have leather guys from overseas that like to put a Reggie stamp on a belt and call it a Reggie.
That's the other thing is you got these guys that'll buy a Classic Shields plates and put them on their leather and stamp it as somebody else's. You have to be aware.
That's fucking low, bro. That's low because now you're flooding the market with shit that I'm all for booting belts. Because again, I'm not gonna be stopped from getting what the fuck I want. It's not like I'm parading it in the groups and saying this is an actual Milliken IWGP V3. No, this is my belt that I got from Classic Shields. It's there on its detail. I don't have it now. I'm just saying for future references when I get it. But I want this belt because I loved it. I thought Brock looked great with it. I thought Kurt looked great with it and the TNA Impact Midwest. But I have that issue. I'm not okay with that. That's where I draw the line. Yes, I have a fucking line. That's where I draw the line when you start putting your stamp and saying, this is Jamar's belt. This is Milliken's belt. This is right. No, it's fucking not. Put Classic Shields on it. Put ORM. Put whatever the fuck their stamp is. Put that stamp on there. Don't try to put this shit on there because then it floods. There's enough fucking boots out there. You don't want to have the confusion of someone who has 3 fucking showers, right? To think that they just bought an official Reggie and they don't have an official Reggie, right? You can't blame people like that because they go, yo, it has the fucking stamp. This is an issue, right? So we are now at the end of our lovely presentation, and we are going to bring back one of the sexiest men on Gone Gear. He is again, freeloading Canadian, Mr. Matt Panetta. Welcome back.
I love how I'm freeloading Canadian. I love it.
The best piece of Canadian bacon you'll get.
I talked to Jones, and Jones is like, this is going to be a short show. What time is it? It's fucking 9:40 at night. We have to stop this shit. We literally have to stop. Let's get into it, boys. I mean, before we get into the few topics I want to touch on, which belts would you guys get? Which the one I presented, Matt? You only have those belts to pick. Who would you take?
I'm gonna have to pick the Omi.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Mr. Joseph Vatanza.
Can I see the eBay seller number 2? No, I'm just playing. I mean, out of all those belts, I'm gonna have to go with the Orm. I mean, makes the most sense.
He does have a nice fade, right?
My.
He looks really good.
That's that Canadian fade, John. Don't let it fool you, bro.
All right. Jameson, you got all these belts to pick from. Which one would you take?
Oh. Oh me.
Oh, me, okay. Ethan.
I'm gonna take. I'm gonna. I'm gonna
Hold
take
on,
the.
bro.
I'm gonna
Just
take
hold
the
on,
Omi. I'm
bro.
gonna take the Omi.
Yeah, okay.
I'll take the
same,
fake Jamar though.
Same. No, you would not. You know that you
I'll
wouldn't.
take it, bro. I'll take it.
So, let's talk rumors on the shop belts coming out. One of the big ones. You see, he's talking all that shit, but he's gonna be the first to order the Jamar Big Gold. Mr. Panetta, what have you heard on your end that is coming out through the shop?
I just heard the rumors through the grapevine about the 3D Big Gold. That's what, the last quarter of the year? That's when it's going to be allegedly released. It's a long time coming. I remember Dan talked about that quite a few months ago, and I think a lot of us were hoping it'd be released around Christmas time. But no, it looks like we're going to have to wait until maybe the end of this year. I want it if it lives up to the hype. I'm a huge Big Gold nut. I love it. One of my favorite belts next to the Winged Eagle. But Jamar makes shallow plate, so if it was casted from a Jamar, I'm curious to see how this replica is going to look.
That's my worry.
I think really, yeah. Joey, what do you have you heard? And if you haven't heard anything, what do you think about the Big Gold speculation?
I also heard the Big Gold. I heard December of this year, so right around Christmas time. I know what people will do with their Christmas money. Everybody's been waiting for that belt, so I mean, if you don't get on it and it sells out, it's going to be a hot commodity. You know, you're going to see people do this a lot in the hobby, community. It's hilarious. They'll buy the 3D they'll buy a belt from shop. Then like a week later, they'll sell it, or like any belt, replica belt, they'll buy it and then they'll sell it, try to sell it for like double the price. But you know what?
It's time for a good Big Gold. I mean, the WCW is good, but it's very flat. The one they have, it's a 4mm, but it's very flat.
I would love the US 5-plater. I know we got the 3-plater, but I would love the 5-plater because then it may stop me from, because I need a 5-plater in my collection. It's gonna
right.
If it drops, it may stop me, or maybe not, from hitting up Nawaz. But like, yo, I'll take those.
I don't think they would do that. I don't think they would do that, right? Put the network logo on the.
No, they would put
Gold?
WCW. Oh, the Big Gold.
They put the scratch, right? Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Unless they bring it back, right? And they change it up a little bit. But no, it'd have the scratch logo.
What if they drop? What if they get rid of? I'm just saying, hypothetical. Roman has these 2 belts. What if by December brings back the 3D Big Gold and they drop it from the shop?
Never happened.
Really?
I know, but I'm
Never
just saying,
happened.
hypothetical.
No, there's not even a hypothetical because you can't live in a world where WWE is going to give you something you want.
You never know.
No.
I mean, they did give me what I wanted. They got rid of that ugly yellow IC, so I'm just happy about that.
It's okay. It's okay.
That's low. Jameson,
I was gonna make a comment, but I want to make him cry on air.
Wow.
You know,
Make a comment.
You know, Jameson. You know the Big Gold, the one Triple H had back in the Ruthless Aggression era, when he was the leader of Evolution. The what was it? The Reign of Terror they called it. It had the WWE scratch logo on it. Would you rather have the scratch or the network logo on it?
Screw that network logo.
Very nice, Mr. Thompson. Go ahead, Joey. If you got,
Can you put up the last comment, please? Because he said if that belt drops, I hope they don't fuck it.
They don't fuck it. He meant fuck it up. Like so
Yeah.
Gigi, wait a minute, Gigi. What are you talking about? Because Shop has been doing a really good job.
The WCW 91 to 94, the Rock Belt,
The Undisputed was very
Undisputed,
good, Gigi.
the United States.
And say what you want about the Winged Eagle, but you know it's greatly improved from the last one.
plated. Yeah.
And if they come out with a gold Winged Eagle,
Which, if you look at the Undertaker tribute belt, it was an all gold, wings attached, or bars attached. So, my guess it's coming.
Speaking of logos, what would happen to the market if they started using the old logo. How would
Dead.
that affect it?
Well, can I go?
Of course you can.
If they did it correctly, so like if WWE was smart and was like, yo, we're gonna market to everybody, so we're gonna do the regular like wing. Let's go the Winged Eagle. We're gonna do the regular Winged Eagle version they have right now. Was it 300, 350, something like that, $400?
Yeah, you could get
And
on
then-
sale for $299.
And then we're gonna do the Master Series. You would completely eliminate, not completely eliminate, but you would ruin the bootleg market because there's not a guy on the screen. Well, except for Jameson, there's not a guy on the screen who wouldn't be stocking up on Master Series. Big Eagles,
Matt, what do you think?
everything.
If they brought the Master Series back, I agree with Ethan. I would be on that like a dirty shirt, man.
What the fuck did you just say? What the fuck?
Hold on. Hollow plates. I know where he's getting this from. I don't want to say
Yeah.
it, but I know where he's getting it from.
A
What?
CS Junior, he's talking about hollow plates.
Yeah.
Oh, Carmine. No. Well, so here's the thing. Carmine is more lean towards the. Carmine had a promotion. Carmine knows what it's like to hold an actual belt, right? Carmine goes having the heavy belt. So Carmine's. Here's the thing that I have to say. This is just. You can't go with what Carmine says because Carmine has a biased view of what a belt should be. This is a replica. This is an actual.
But he has an alleged biased view, right? So his biased view, like just like the AEW, for the first 3 days it was hollow plates, and then
True.
he spends $100 more than everybody that pre-ordered those hollow plates, and now has a hollow plate AEW.
Hey, those hollow plates, they're heavy though. They're really heavy.
Carmine admits to it. Carmine's a child. Carmine sees something shiny object
Agreed.
he wanted, right? He'll order right away. I mean, but here's the thing: you have to understand, Gigi. When you say hollow plates, baby, I want to try and teach you something. And Jameson's on here, and listen up, Jameson. If you get, I'll give you an example. One of the big things that got a lot of heat back in the summer of 2020 was the United States, the new United States Championship, that it was hollowed. And I feel like I say this shit all the time. This is a belt that's literally, I can pour, Matt Panetta can come out naked out of the bedroom and pour me some Fruit Loops into the bowl, and I can eat my Fruit Loops after having a lovely night with him. The problem is, if you fill that, think about that. If you fill that,
I'm thinking about it.
You said if you fill that completely with just, you don't hollow it out, how heavy is that belt going to be? Fandu, I don't care what anybody says, Fandu does a great belt. I get they're undersized and all that stuff. But you know how hard it is to display a fucking Fandu because of how heavy it is, right? The ECW Phoenix, the big silver, was they had to make the leather on it so bad and so fucking stiff compared to all of their other belts. I own the belt. I own the deluxe version of that belt that's supposed to have the better. No, it was like pure cardboard. Matt Panetta smacking me in the ass, no homo, with something hard, like literally just real hard, stiff.
Like the UFC
because
V3.
It was so heavy.
Stiff leather.
The V3 as well. You have to hold these things up. I'd rather be heavy just like my women, but no, Jesus, Gianni. I see what you're saying. Yeah, you have to have that mindset because it's a heavy belt. It's a really heavy belt to display.
There's a weird thing I'll agree with Gigi on in a way that's not going to agree with him.
Women?
No. Fuck the bigger woman. I'm two fat people can't be together, so it's illegal.
That's fucked up.
I'm just saying it's just my opinion. As a fat guy, you gotta pose that opinion. But like Panetta will agree. So you take a shop IC and a Classic Shields IC and hold them together. They feel entirely different.
That's why I'm upgrading my shop to a CS IC. It's a great belt. It's a phenomenal replica, but it doesn't compare. Now, if they do a Master Series like Intercontinental with a WWF logo, then I got to think about what I'm deciding.
Yeah. So before we go, I want to go around the room. Joey, when do you choose to boot a belt? When do you go, okay, I'm not going to go with the shop? And I'm not talking about the Block Legends logo shop. I'm talking about, what's available with the specs that you want, with the logo, with the millimeters and the plate. When do you choose to go, I'm going to go Classic Shields, I'm going to go Shady American? I agree.
When I can't get it from like the actual maker and nobody can deliver the actual logo, that's when I go with Classic Shields or somebody from overseas. Because I can't have somebody else produce a WWF logo. I mean, you could. Off the record.
Jameson, this is going to be a test for you right now. We're friends.
Mhm.
I hope you invite me to your wedding. You're going to meet my daughter and my wife in October. The two people I hold dearest to my heart. You're going to meet them. We're going to go out and have dinner. I'll take you to the restaurant. I'm paying. Okay?
October's my birth month, actually. So
we're gonna and so is mine, baby. We're gonna celebrate. You're gonna literally meet House Suarez for the first time in October. So this is a test, and you better not fucking fail it. Now, you wake up in a bewilderment, in a state of bewilderment. You're confused, and you say to yourself, for some reason it comes into your mind that you want a spinner WWE champion. You have every maker in Pakistan, even Classic Shields available to you. And you have to choose, where could I buy this belt from? Jameson Bennett, this is your moment of truth. Where are you going to go buy that spinner?
you don't buy it bootleg.
Where do
You
you
get it from
go?
the shop.
You son of a bitch, I love you.
That's the
Stop
only
booting
place
fucking
that's
spin.
going to do it right every damn time.
Stop boot. There are certain belts that you just don't fucking boot. You don't fucking do it. Okay, you just don't. Ethan, when do you boot?
When I can't get the specs that I want. So obviously you get your WWF logo. Now the shop's stepping up their game with their WCW logo, and they're not like, I would buy the 91 to 94 if I didn't already have it on order for a year.
Block him right now. Block him. Don't put that shit up there, man. No spinners. No spinners.
No booting the network logo either.
Yeah, stop that too.
Stop doing that shit.
Spinners, network logos, $1 million belts. Please.
Facts. Mr. Panetta.
The logo's key for me. The logo is key. If I can't get a Reggie, there's a couple of Reggies that have popped up over the last couple months. $8,000. There was one on Belt Talk Legends logo. It's like $4,800. It's nice, but I want that WWF logo. $10,000 is a little steep when I can get CS to make it for $1,400 or $1,450.
Yeah, if you have $10,000, you're gonna get like.
I can think of a lot better things to put $10K towards, but if it's within my budget and I can afford it, I'll hunt for a Reggie for sure. But most people in this hobby can't, right? That's a whole separate tier of collectors.
And I have to agree with Carnage here. Stop bootlegging the NXT and the US Championships. Drew Aldrich Boyer, we've had numerous conversations about it. And he got it because there weren't any NXTs available. And he just picked one up. And he'll tell you, he's like, I will get the shop if needed. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for tonight. Stop sending. You send Omi nudes and you don't. We'll talk in chat.
Omi sent some of those pictures where he's got like a couple of chairs by his bed, though. We've seen those.
I heard about that. I heard about that. What's up, chat, Panetta? Just saying.
I got kicked from that.
Jameson, don't listen to any of these people. Okay, they're fucking crazy. You're doing well, and I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Proud of you that you know to go to the shop. And here he is, the man of the hour, Mr. John Bodoy.
Yo,
He will
10K
be
in
here.
California? That's like 2 months rent, bro.
Bro, let me tell you something, John. Before you guys, and I'm going to leave his comment up for a reason. Next month, we are going to be doing the WCW United States Championship. And for those of you who said, guys, you have done that belt before. No, we've done the Reggie. Our special guest, his favorite belt maker is Mr. Jamar, and that's who we're going to review. The Jamar WCW United States 3-plater. Thank you, Gigi, for the kind word. Icons V7 Nudes. That guy needs some ass. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being on here with me. Mr. Panetta, you are a gem. I will see you in chat. Let me address the people now, gentlemen.
Panetta
if you
out.
would. Say it, baby. What a show. You know something? I love this community and I hate it. I found my bestest friends on here. And I can't. Here's the thing, Platinum. I can't plug Jack Soap because we have an agreement. And Ethan, remind me to order from him because he sent me a message that I needed to order and I haven't ordered the soaps. I can't put it up because I can't. Everyone else has used it. If I'm going to put up, I have to use it. So I'm going to hit him up and actually order some soap tonight. I have to do it. Tim, if you're in there somewhere, come into the chat because I need to order some damn soap so that I can plug you here. But this show and our podcast, it's sponsored by Jack Soap. So let's not forget that. Chat, let's go. Gigi's excessively excited about that. And yeah, we did shoot videos, but again, I want to experience it for myself. I want to bathe in the Vegas bomb. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. I do have a plea to the hobby, as I always do. People just fucking get along. Call things for what they are. I do believe I'm a little optimistic. And because I'm optimistic, I have one final thing to say. I have, for you people, a treat tonight. A new segment that I'm going to leave you with. It's called The Jar of Optimism. It was my old lady's birthday yesterday, and one of her friends got her this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shake it like so, and I'm going to pull something out, and I'm going to reference the hobby because the hobby seems to be something that people look forward to have to get away from their life. So let me look into the jar and see if I can give you some wisdom. Hold on. Okay, I just put it out. Positivity for the month. It says for the day, but we do this shit monthly. So, gratitude is the best attitude. So, if you did wait a year for that classic Shields, if Omi finally sent you your belt, and if Michael Jones grazed you and actually responded to your messages when you text him, have some gratitude. If you have wonderful pictures of your belt, if Joseph Atanza tells you you're a dickhead, if Carmine Savior trashes you on live, if Ethan Thompson rants for half an hour how much the world ruins his day, well, have some gratitude. But in all seriousness, I appreciate each and every one of you who sits here and watches our show. I want to inform you all that we all appreciate your engagement in all of our groups here on the show. It seems like we take this seriously, but in reality, we don't. This is all really, again, I'm wearing a tie talking about belts with belts behind me. Kind of try to put a little spin on it, but everything that we do here on this show from Culture Shock Entertainment, you will always have facts and you will always have reasonable people to speak with. If you have a problem with one of us, like Ethan said earlier in the chats when he was supposed to be backstage, reach out to us, talk to us. Me, hit me up on Messenger. If you do get me, I'll more than gladly give you my phone number. Text me because I'm not on Messenger all the time. But you'll find that we're not the evil monsters that people portray us to be. Have a conversation with us. We're here to help you. We want everyone to be a part of this growing community, to be able to put their vision out there. And I said this in one of our chats earlier. If you do feel like you need help in starting your own podcast and starting your own show, that you want to put your vision out there, reach out to us, because that's what we're here for. We want to see everyone succeed and everyone move forward and be able to show their vision to the world. This isn't a monopoly. No one owns a hobby. No one owns a community. And if you delve in drama all the fucking time, then drama is always going to be with you. Try to enjoy it. Try to be kind to each other. Because at the end of the day, this is what we use to get away from the real struggles that life brings us. All this shit about who's the best maker, who has the best leather, it means nothing when we're struggling to pay bills, struggling to be good fathers, good mothers, good husbands, good wives. We all struggle a lot. And we all have our own personal demons that we need to deal with. And we shouldn't allow this hobby, this community, something that should be good, become something so toxic. I honestly believe in all of you. I believe in myself that we can move forward and one day have the hobby that we all deserve. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. We're going to post next month some of the posts that you guys put up in our groups, whether that be Get the Strap, PTM, Scammers of the Belt. We're going to post them on here because we think you should be highlighted for being positive in the community. I know Scammers of the Belt really at times isn't positive, but at least you're putting out there the people that need to be put out there to be exposed so that you don't lose money, so that people don't get taken advantage of. That's all we do. We want to make sure that this hobby is something positive that people can escape from. Take care. I love you. See you next time. Bye bye.